Roman Reigns, after taking in the night of fights, where we got Josh Hokett's transphobic comment, and then we cut right to Roman Reigns with Triple H. Perfect cutaway time. And so Reigns arrives with the Usos, and they're joined by Jacob Fatu backstage, and they come out. The crowd is singing. They're chanting for Roman. And Roman says, is going to win the King of the Ring, and then says about Big Jim. Without Big Jim, there would be no Jay, there would be no Roman Reigns, and there would be no Bloodline. And to acknowledge Jimmy. The whole crowd starts chanting for Fatu, and Fatu just stands there, stone face. Jay says, Fatu, you don't listen. You need to acknowledge us. And Reigns then says that they have a problem. And he steals the microphone. Fatu explains, I don't listen to Jimmy and Jay. I only acknowledge you, my tribal chief. And Reigns says, that's good, because we don't need yes men around here. So Reigns calls upon a mystery box. Not a lockbox. No, instead, it's the Roman secret box containing a new Ula Fala, which means a new prop to sell you for $65. And it's a wooden Ula Fala. And Reigns explains how the Bloodline has always run this place. Whether it was the Wild Samoans who ran WWF, whether it was Yokozuna putting up those ones with Ludwig Borga and Jacques Rougeau, whether it was Rikishi, which this crowd reacts to, which really tells you the slice of this audience and who is recognizable to them, because Rikishi got the biggest reaction here. He then mentioned Umaga and then the Usos. And one day our kids will be teaming together. They will be the Bloodline too. So the Bloodline has always existed in this company. Fatu, you're not an outsider anymore. We're welcoming you to the family business. Mm-hmm. It's like, I could have used this when I was in Contra Unit back in MLW. And he says that he is now part of the Bloodline and places the Ula Fala onto Jacob, and the four men put the ones in the air. And this was like 25 minutes. Quite the ceremony.
What? Yeah, Bloodline stuff is it takes a while, and it's they've got a pace that they definitely adhere to. Yeah. I hear from our audience, and I see people online post about like Bloodline fatigue. I really personally, I don't feel it at all. I love this saga. I love this lore. I love the family drama of it all. And I think Roman being a leader like this of his own family is the best version of Roman Reigns. I think Jimmy and Jay being by his side are the best versions of the Usos. And this addition of Jacob to be successfully opens up a new chapter. I wasn't really sure how like Roman would be solving this issue of Jacob not responding to the Usos. And his solution was, interestingly, not to berate him, but to, embrace him as this sort of perhaps new second to his group. So it's an interesting approach. And I think you have Jacob now, who continues to demonstrate fierce loyalty to Roman Reigns, and the tension between he and definitely Jay will continue to ramp up. To see them fight for Roman's, adoration as right-hand man, I think would be a lot of fun. And of course, it set up a big moment afterwards as well.
It continues, and there in the front row is actor, comedian Eric Andre, and they just happened to mention that he has a film coming out with John Cena on Netflix this month. And he's high-fiving Roman Reigns, and he's patting the other Usos. Jay wants nothing to do with this guy. Jimmy embraces him. And then he starts patting Jacob Fatu's back and playing with the Ula Fala. And Jacob Fatu ain't having any of this. And he just grabs Eric Andre and flips him over the barricade, throws him into the ring. I thought Jacob Fatu was 100% babyface here. It's like, you don't put your hands on the performers. Isn't that like the first rule here? The guy when Jacob Fatu learned from the Eddie Guerrero school here, okay? So he just...
Well, they don't put your hands on your Ula Fala.
That's just, that's a step too far. And so he throws Eric Andre into the ring. The security is out, freaking out. Eric Andre just lays like a corpse in this ring in position. And then Roman gives him the signal, and Jacob flies, and the people go nuts for this. And then Reigns says, one more time. And then Jacob Fatu hits another splash. This place loved this. And then Corey Graves yells, that was a warning shot to the entire roster. Eric Andre has put everyone on notice here, okay? This could be you. And all I can hope is that the big showdown, okay? Forget all these dream matches, okay? Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso against Eric Andre, Cameron, and Mace. Is that not where all of this pays off?
Perhaps, yeah, perhaps. You know, everybody's looking for the rub here, I'm sure. So they do mention that Roman is a co-star of Eric Andre's, who's in the Street Fighter movie with him, right? So that's why
is Eric Andre in that movie too?
Oh, everybody in the world is in that Street Fighter movie. Yeah. So like Roman and Andre were actually cool.
Okay, well that makes sense why he was so cool with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this moment of Roman saying, "Hey, don't attack Eric Andre," to him changing it to saying, "Yeah, kill Eric Andre," I think was there to like let us know that, hey, like Roman, this is a Roman Reigns who is putting his family in the respect of his family above maybe his Hollywood ambitions and his Hollywood career. So I mean, I felt that was effective. Also, of course, it's there to show you how loyal Jacob is to Roman's order, and that Roman now really has, I think, Jacob his command, and really maybe his own best interests, you know, at heart as well.
What happens if the roles are reversed and Roman Reigns is seated front row at Korakuen Hall when E Honda is in the G1?
You know what? I don't know.
Maybe Goto sends Yoshihashi to go after Roman Reigns.
I wonder if he'll have better seats than he did on Sunday.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, it's a tough ticket. LA Knight comes out because basically we had an hour left of this show and we had 2 matches. So we needed something to eat some more time. So thus, Bloodline segment number 2 of the night. LA Knight lays down on the mat saying, this is how my Friday night went. And the crowd starts chanting, welcome home. I swear to God, I had no idea this guy was from Baltimore.
Yeah. Is he billed from Baltimore?
He is billed from Baltimore. And he's from Hagerstown.
No, is his character billed from Baltimore?
Oh, his character. I believe he is billed from Baltimore, I think.
Why does he call himself LA? I guess for some reason I associated him with LA. But okay.
He says he could have laid there all weekend, which would have been weird. They would have had to strike the ring. But he had to get home to Baltimore. The crowd's like, yeah, it's where we live too. And then he starts talking about Roman Reigns, how Roman might launch a meme coin to scam everyone. It's like after last night, I'm sure he made those connections.
So maybe something interesting to mention is that so they did that whole Danhausen recap of like the New York Knicks undefeated run, and they stopped in the middle where they lost that game. Game 4? They lost game 4 or game 3?
They lost game 3.
And in brackets they wrote not Danhausen's fault, which I felt was as close of a criticism of Donald Trump as you're going to get on this show. I took this meme coin line to be another dig at Trump.
It could be, yeah. I mean, you could read it that way, certainly. I mean, is there anything weird about watching a historical video package about World War II and then going into an ad read about Trump's UFC minted coins for $12,000 as I saw on Sunday night?
Yeah.
I wish you watched some of this UFC card way. I don't think you would have lasted.
I would have just wanted to see like the stuff between the fights. Actually, I was most interested in all that.
Well, it was a very commercialized event. I mean, Mark Shapiro, he was sitting down, but he was you could tell the man was just at the edge of his seat at all the signage. So Jimmy Uso interrupts LA Knight and says, it's all different now, saying that Solo doesn't run with us anymore in terms of Solo being the one to cost LA Knight the match. But Knight says that Solo did help Jay, and he knows if I go after Solo, all of you guys are going to target me. But Jimmy denies that would be the outcome. So Jay comes out and gets another strong reaction. He repeats that Solo is his own man and that I am better than you. I eliminated you from King of the Ring fair and square, and you need to acknowledge me. And Knight says, well, that's an interesting offer, and I acknowledge that you can kiss my ass. And so Jimmy has to get involved as it leads to Jay super kicking Jimmy super kicks LA Knight, helping him. And Jay goes to get a chair. Jimmy tries to stop him, but then LA Knight takes the chair and attacks both Usos when the fixer comes. Jacob Fatu and Tongan death grips LA Knight and sends him into the depths of Baltimore.
So he takes care of the problem when the other two cannot.
Yes. Like this is Dumb and Dumber that have been assigned to go get the task done, and it's Jacob that gets the job done for Roman.
I thought this was great. I thought Knight was outstanding here. Certainly one of the best receptions he'll probably get all like year long. And again, I think it was a segment that like showcased the individuality of the Bloodline members pretty well. Each person in the group here has their own reason for being here. They have their own sort of like relationship to Knight. You got Jimmy, who's like the friendliest one, who's kind of caught in the middle, and Jay, who just like straight up at this point hates him, and Jacob, who just wants to get the job done on behalf of the tribal chief. So I feel like, even at this point, like to me, what makes the Bloodline work is that you could easily define each member, and they're all important. No one is a background player. So I thought it was a great way of continuing each Bloodline member's development while also driving the feud between Knight and the entire family forward to a physical degree now.
The Usos argued backstage, and Fatu says they didn't get the job done, so he did it the OTC way. The month of June on the Post Wrestling Cafe is going to feature 2 editions of Rewind Away. Already in your feeds is a retrospective on the career of Manami Toyota, plus we are discussing WWE's WrestleMania 33 event from 2017, highlighted by the return of the Hardys, John Cena gets down on one knee, and Roman Reigns attempts to retire The Undertaker. Plus we have coverage this month of New Japan's Dominion card. It's an Ask Away mailbag show as we take all of your questions. I will be sitting down to chat about UFC Freedom 250 with Neil Flanagan, and so much more. All of that can be yours at postwrestlingcafe.com.